Could LeBron and Kyrie get back together? With reports that the Nets have reached an impasse with their star point guard. Woj reported yesterday the Lakers are the, quote, most significant threat to pry Kyrie away from Brooklyn. Windy, what are the Nets hoping for with Kyrie Irving less than a week away from his player option deadline?
They're hoping to sign him to a contract that protects them long-term from Kyrie's injury history and history of not wanting to play. I don't think that they want to offend him. I think they want to make a responsible contract. And here's the reality, Max. At the end of the season, Kyrie said on the record in front of the cameras, I'm coming back. He made it clear he doesn't want to go anywhere. Now we look out into the field. There's no teams out there that have salary cap space to pay him anywhere near what the Nets can pay him, even if they don't offer him a guaranteed max. Nobody out there is looking for a player like him who has the cap space. So the leverage is naturally against Kyrie. And so Kyrie is trying to manufacture leverage, as probably any of us in his shoes would try to manufacture leverage. I just don't know how realistic it is that he would leave $30 million on the table this year. That's what it would cost him to go to the Lakers, and potentially tens more in the next few years, depending on what the Nets are offering or willing to offer. I know with Kyrie, he doesn't operate like many people do. He is sort of a unique person in his decision-making, especially with what he prioritizes. But even under those circumstances, it's a wild scenario that he would go do that. But that sliver exists, and Kyrie is trying to leverage it as much as he possibly can.
Not to mention KD. Like, if I'm the Nets and I'm going to tick off KD to the point where it alienates him, Kyrie, I'd like not to guarantee him the whole contract, but all right, KD, Kyrie, are we good? You know, that on paper, still, that's a juggernaut if people are healthy. Windy, if Kyrie was to opt out of his contract, how do the Lakers grab him?
The only way to get him is with the taxpayer mid-level exception, which is $6 million and change. They can't sign and trade for him. They really can't create space. Even if they were to somehow miraculously get somebody to take Russell Westbrook, they wouldn't have appreciable cap space. It is $6 million or bust. And the Lakers, obviously, if Kyrie is showing an interest and if he opts out of his contract next week, they're going to have to wait on him. They have to, because it would be the greatest mid-level signing in NBA history. But if Kyrie takes a few days as he tries to leverage it with the Nets, it's possible other targets that they want to sign with that money could go elsewhere. So the Lakers have to do this. They have to engage in this. They have to think that the probability isn't very high. They have to go down that path. And I'll just say this about Kevin Durant. Obviously, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are close. They have a strong partnership. But I really do wonder how Kevin truly feels about this, because Kyrie is making an assumption that it's okay to mess with Kevin a little bit here, to sort of leverage on your friend. I really wonder how he truly feels. It's complicated, but if Kyrie walks for nothing, if I'm Kevin Durant, I'm obviously got a problem with the way management handles it.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.